One of the things that I see in the educational space that I think is just really absurd is how much we get tied up in our label, in our identity, in our educational models, and how that keeps us from freely changing when we need change. So whether it's homeschool, public school, private school, online school, outsourcing, we get stuck. We get labeled and we get stuck. Welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna. If you are new here, we are a homeschooling family of 4. We are entering our 10th year of homeschooling. And today I want to talk with you about these labels and about change, about how changing paths in your educational journey is a win-win situation. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit the big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. Today's video is actually inspired by a real life scenario that I'm going to tell you in just a moment, but it is also well timed because it is in partnership with Legacy Online School, which I have spoken about before, actually I think several times now over the years, and we are going to talk about a little bit more later in this video because it is a choice. It is an educational shift and it is a resource that you can have in your pocket. But I wanted to let you know that this video is in partnership with Legacy Online School. I actually already had this video on my plan. I was inspired to have this conversation with you because, well, somebody who I have become friends with here on the magical interwebs, who is in my same kind of journey, in my same kind of timing. Her kids are the same age as my kids. You know who you are. Huge shout out. And we will compare notes and chat and just bounce things off of each other. And it's really become a wonderful kind of safe space. She is changing their educational path. And I think that all of us can stand to have a conversation about what that looks like, about what that feels like. You guys know, if any of you have been here for any period of time, I am a huge fan of quitting. I think it is an underused skill set, and quitting has such a very negative connotation. And so I recognize that that maybe isn't the place here that we need to talk about. But what I want to talk about is we have chosen to homeschool. If you are watching this, you very likely have chosen to homeschool your child, and that is why you're here, because I make primarily homeschool content. I have chosen to homeschool my child. Many of you have chosen to homeschool your children. And not all of you, like me, have come to this way of life kind of naturally, organically on your own. Maybe you were encouraged to come here by some social circumstance, some sort of large illness that plagued our planet, some sort of learning difficulty, some sort of hiccup in the educational plan that you originally had for your learner. And so you have found your way here. Many of you have done this, like my friend, for years and years. You have home educated your children and it's been wonderful. But that doesn't mean that's the next best step. And what I want to talk with you about today is getting tied up in the labels that keep you where you are. That the real travesty, the real failure is when you refuse to change. The way that I look at this, there's so much negativity and feeling and heaviness surrounding choosing a new path forward. It genuinely is very sad. And I think it does us all, especially our learners, a great disservice to look at changing course as something that is negative. So I want you to partner with me in this video, and we are going to decide that if we need to change course, if we need to change path, we are going to put on our goggles that tell us that this is a win-win situation. You have done whatever your first path was, whether it was private, public, online, outsource, homeschool, whatever your path was that you chose to utilize, you loved it. it worked or it didn't. It answered your questions or it didn't. And maybe now you're in a place where you're recognizing that that path isn't best serving you. So you need to find a new path. So you were winning and now you're going to continue winning, because the goal is to give our learners the best possible education that we can for them, where they are, with the circumstances that we have. Now, maybe you have been forced in, or feel like you've been forced into a situation, or have been forced into a situation where you need to find a new path. Maybe, your marriage is splitting up and you need to go and go back to full-time work. And so homeschooling is just not going to best serve everyone in your situation. Maybe you feel like you've been failed by the public school system and you need to choose homeschooling because you don't feel like you've been best served. None of this is a failure. It is simply the next step in how we can all best serve everyone. There are wild benefits to every kind of educational path forward that you can choose. And so I want you to start thinking about this as a win. It is a win-win situation. We don't need to feel negative. We don't need to feel bad. And we don't need to feel like we have failed or are failing when our goal and our efforts and our next steps are best serving our learners. Now, how can we do that? Homeschool can be an option to best serve your learner. Absolutely. I talk about it all the time. I come here and I share with that because it is really important to me that everyone recognizes that homeschooling is amazing, that homeschooling is accessible, that homeschooling is as wonderful as you can make it. But I never want to come here and tell you that any other educational path is bad, because homeschooling serves me and mine. It may not serve you and yours, and it serves me and mine right now, but it may not serve me and mine next year. And so I don't want to get tied up in those labels and that negativity that comes around changing course. I don't want us getting stuck with these labels. These educational labels create such pressure, such intensity, and they get you married to something that might not continue best serving you. It is so important to me that we are looking at public school is always an option. There is an option for everybody to find the educational path that suits them best. And so maybe that is coming out of public school. Maybe it is going into public school. That is something that we genuinely considered for a hot minute in our own home because it was something that we thought could best serve our learner. And so it is important to me to always remember that that focus on best serving our learner is what matters. So whether it is homeschool, public school, private school, online school, or the whole myriad of resources that we do have at our disposal, I want you to think about yourself. You are a kid in a candy store and everything is available to you for you to reach your goal. Your goal being a child who has had the best education that we can possibly give them in whatever manner that is. And sometimes that is knowing when to hold them and when to fold them, for lack of a better term. It is knowing when that pivot is going to help us be most successful. And often it might come from places that you don't expect, like a public school, like a private school, like homeschool, or like something like Legacy Online School, a platform that is designed as, yes, a K through 12 and beyond online learning platform, but set up as a private school. However, it can operate like a homeschool. It is incredibly flexible. I can tell you the many, many things that I love about Legacy Online School, some of the perks. First of all, the flexible commitment is something that I personally love. That's something that I value in my homeschool and in my learning journey, but it could be one of the things that makes you choose a different path. Maybe you need more structure. Maybe you've had too much flexibility. Maybe you need to find what works, and something like Legacy Online School could be something that checks that box for you. Like I said, I was planning to make this video anyway. I've already had lots of chats on these situations, and Legacy Online School just came to me at a really great time. As you know, I have worked with them in the past. Some of the perks that Legacy Online School includes are multi-child discount, educator discount, military discount. You can utilize their services domestically or abroad because they are an online resource school. They go K through 12 and beyond. We are talking test prep. We are talking clubs. We are talking parent resources, because maybe this is a path that you chose and you recognize that, one, like myself, I love to outsource math. Outsourcing math, honestly, knowing that I can do that helps me find success and not get stressed about labels and pressure and things that I know I am not the best in the wheelhouse at math, but I know that I can find solutions for that. So Legacy Online School could possibly be an option. Legacy Online School could be an option for you. If you are looking for a new path, they have amazing things. They've got clubs for kids, fully accredited. You can use over a dozen funding options from various states to utilize their program. Their program, and this is something we've talked about recently, and it is so near and dear to my heart, as so many things, so much noise comes into this market. They are tried and true, tested. They have been in business for years. You can have a free trial, so you do not have to trust me on what I say here. You are more than welcome to go look at their options. And their options, one, they are ranked through the Better Business Bureau. They are recommended from Forbes, and their options are accredited through every state. It's a legitimate, fully accredited private school online to get you a real certified diploma, because again, that is something that is incredibly valuable to many of us, and many of us do need something like that necessary to move forward. Not here in Texas for my type of homeschool, but in many places that is something that is going to be incredibly important, and they can help you check that box. They help with college prep. They are WASC certified to provide GT, honors, AP classes. It is amazing to me the resources that are available through the Legacy Online School platform. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. They have a free trial. That's it. Just go try them for free. You can make your own decisions. You can check out their website all entirely on your own. I'm sure by now I've shrunken my head over and given you a look inside their website. Fully accredited, certified teachers. And again, you can scaffold, you can scale that commitment level to what suits you. So whether it is tutoring, whether it is one class, whether it is asynchronous, all the way to full structured, full days of educational model, you can find the path that works for you, because we are not going to get tied up in educational labels that keep us stuck and keep us from pivoting. So I just want to come here because it is so important to me for everyone to know that you do not have to be married to your educational path. Your educational journey is meant to be flexible. It is meant to evolve, and it is meant to grow. If you want any further information on Legacy Online School, I am sure that I will link it right up here and down in the description box. I do have a code for you. Again, don't take my word for it. Just go check them out. If it's something that you feel could check a box for you, if there is something that you've been lacking. I have tried many times. I'm so fortunate. We are located in a big city, and that means we have a lot of clubs and resources and events and programs and awards and things like that that are available to us that I know many of you have told me many times you do not have, especially in certain areas of the country where you may be pretty singularly alone. And it is important to me that you recognize that there are paths forward, there are options out there. And I'm so glad to be able to come and share amazing resources with you, because I don't want you feeling like change is the enemy. I want you to grow. The only way that your educational path, the next step, is going to be negatively impacted is if you don't take that next step. You cannot be scared to change. You cannot be unwilling to move. And we need to find resources, activities, and options for us that serve us. And by searching out the next thing, by deciding that where we are isn't where we need to be, that is a win. And I don't care how you do it, whether it's choosing to homeschool, whether it's choosing to go to public school, whether it's choosing to enroll in a private school, an online school like Legacy Online School. Or if it is simply just deciding that you're going to do things a little differently, do not become stagnant. That's honestly the only enemy. You know what's going to best serve your learner, and you know that that means taking the next step, whichever direction it is. I want you to absolve yourself of the guilt, to know that you're doing your best, to recognize that growth comes from movement, which means what? It is a win-win situation. It is okay if you try something and you recognize that was not the path for you and you try something else. That means that you are growing, you are evolving, and you are still searching out the best possible thing for your learner. And that should be our goal. We're not going to get tied up in labels. And we've had this discussion before. Not only is it homeschool, public school, private school, it could even be, Charlotte Mason, secular, Christian worldview, whatever your label could be, labels can be dangerous. So don't lock yourself into the walls or the parameters that come with that. We want things that are flexible. We want things that expand and grow with us. And we want something that's going to fully support our entire journey. There are so many things, so many resources available and out there for you, to you. Hopefully some of them are coming from me to let you know about, but there are so many things. And if I can take my tiny corner of the interwebs and share with you things along the way that I hope inspire you, that I do hope motivate you, and that I hope make you go, that's a really great point. If I can just alleviate some of the guilt that comes from simple everyday parenthood, motherhood, and homeschooling, that will make me happy at the end of the day, knowing that somebody out there, because it happens every single time. Every single time I feel compelled to say a thing, someone out there says, oh, that was what I needed to hear. And often it is something that I am compelled to say because I myself need to hear it, or like I said, somebody close to me is experiencing this. So go faithfully, go confidently in the direction of whatever comes next, and know that by best serving your learner, by having the desire, the effort, the momentum, the movement to go in a direction that is going to better serve your learner, even if it is only for a small time, you are doing a great job. You are making everyday magic, and you are searching out the resources that are going to give your child the best possible educational experience that you can. So I would like to take one moment again to thank Legacy Online School for partnering with me on today's video. It was incredibly well timed, and I love to share the benefits and the highlights from about Legacy Online School because, again, they're wonderful to work with. They're incredibly thoughtful, and they can be warm fuzzies in a lot of ways. I like that they're trustworthy. They still have a DEI page right on their website, and they are affordable, flexible to work with every type of family. So whether it's summer school, college prep, K through 12, whatever it may be, it is possible that they have a solution for you, even if it's only parental support for feeling good about the things that you are going forward. Check out their website. You don't have to take my word for it, but check them out, give them a chance, see if it is something that maybe there's something that you haven't been able to find the right thing for. It's a great place to start. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, and informative. If you did, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, you can find me right on down in the comments or over on Instagram at Making Everyday Magic. I know that by having these conversations, by embracing the good that there really is, and making sure that education is a joyful experience while we are helping mold little humans that we are going to send into the world, together we can keep making everyday magic.